Chapter 10. One day a social worker from the ghetto child welfare department comes to see us. She looks around the house and asks questions while carefully studying each of us. Finally, with warmth and compassion in her voice, she states the reason for her visit. It has been reported that we, 4 young children, live alone without adult supervision. We cannot allow this to continue and must find proper homes for all of you. We have many families who have lost their children. They will be happy to have a child in their home to fill the emptiness in their hearts. We will even find a home for Laybell. She speaks softly, slowly, as if trying to lessen the horrible blow of her words. I look at her gentle face, her kind eyes, her slight build, and wonder how this fragile-looking woman has the strength to utter such words. How can she carry the burden of separating a family? I look at Laybell, and Mama's pleading eyes are before me. I hear a voice within me crying, "A mother does not give up her children. A mother does not give up her children." I look at her and anger rises in my voice. "Don't try to break our hearts again. You will not separate us. Please leave us alone." She does not leave us alone. She comes again and again, bringing vitamins for me, an egg for Laybell, bread for all of us, and always she brings the same horrible word from her supervisors: adoption. I beg her to forget us, to let us have what little happiness we have. Finally, I refuse to let her in. "Rifkel, you know you cannot fight them much longer. We are helpless against them. They will have their way in the end," says Motel. I am not sure anymore. Am I right to fight adoption? Maybe they would be better off, find good homes, be happy. Is it wrong to want to hold our family together? Does my love for them give me the right to decide what is best for them? Do I even know what's best for them? One day a special messenger brings some summons, ordering each of us to appear at the child welfare department. We have no choice but to go. Laybell stays home. His body is consumed by tuberculosis, but his mind is clear and sharp. He wishes us luck, following us sadly with his eyes. We walk, Motel, Moshel, and I, holding hands without saying a word. My weak legs move very slowly. In the child welfare department, we are taken to separate rooms. I wait, my heart pounding violently, my eyes fixed on the door. It opens and a young woman walks in. I know who she is. Miss Malconia, the head of the child welfare department. She looks silently at me. I study her face, calm and serious. Does this mean her decision is made? Will she listen to me? "I suppose you know what I called you about. Your case has been pointing out to me, and I wanted to meet you. You look to me intelligent enough to understand we mean well. We want to help you. We know what is best for you and your brothers. We will find good homes for Motel and Moshel. I am willing to adopt you. I know more about you than you think." She pauses for a moment, and Laybell will go to a home for children. Home for children. I repeat with a trembling voice. That means he will be with the first new victims for the Nazi transports. Is that why Mama sacrificed her life? So Laybell should be sent to a home to wait for deportation? Is that what you were asking me to do? Send him willingly to his death? Good homes for my brothers? A good home for me? Do you think a little more bread and an extra piece of meat will take the place of brotherly love, give us the warmth of our home? Our house is empty without Mama, but our hearts are not. The love for one another that she planted there will always be with us. We can only be happy together. Please do not destroy us. Leave us alone. Please. My tears give way, pour freely over my face. She puts her hand on my head. I see the tears in her eyes. With quivering lips, she places a soft kiss on my hair. Without saying a word, she leaves the room. I wait outside for the boys. Motel comes out first, his eyes burning with anger. Then Moshel, his face pale, frightened. He takes my hand and holds it tightly. I do not want to leave her home. Do you think they can force me? Motel looks at me. We all know that we cannot stop them. We walk in silence for a while. Then Motel breaks the silence. I told them that we did not come for help. All we want is to be left alone. Is that too much to ask? I will not leave, no matter what they do. Laybell has waited in fear, anticipation for our return. He looks carefully at each of us, trying to read the verdict from our faces. Then a smile covers his delicate face. I knew we would not give up, he says with pride. We live in the state of waiting and wondering. Are these our last days together? Is there a tomorrow for us? The agony is on our faces, but we do not speak about it. There is nothing left to say. Every knock on our door makes our hearts stop beating. Are they coming for us? Then one day I am called into the child welfare department alone. Slowly, I open the door to the same office as before. The social worker is at her desk. She runs toward me and throws her arms around me, shouting with joy, "Good news, my child, good news." I looked at her dazed. She pulls me over to her desk and points at some papers. You know what these papers are? Her voice is jubilant, elated. They are your adoption papers. I see my whole world crumble before me. Oh no, she says quickly, putting her arms around me to hold me up. It is not what you think. We had a special session about your case. We decided to make an exception to our rules, seeing the love and devotion you have for one another. We feel that you all deserve to keep what you have. You are going to be the only 16-year-old to be a legal guardian of younger children. That means you are adopting your own brothers. At the same time, I must point this out to you before you sign. You are losing the rights of a child. Today, you become an adult. For a moment, I just stand there, overwhelmed. It has happened. Our dream has come true. We are not being separated. We have one another. We still have our home. We are still a family. I grab her hands, hug them tightly, whispering, "Oh, thank you, oh, thank you." That day, for the first time in weeks, we breathed freely. The four of us cuddled together on Laibel's bed, full of joy, forgetting for the moment that we are still in the ghetto cage.